Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. If you would like to see how I created this beautiful glam full coverage look, make sure you continue to watch this video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. So this is my beautiful model, Celine. And so today we are doing a nice full coverage pink glitter double wing liner look. Um, so just to begin with, I just wanted to move her hair out of her face, and then I made sure to cleanse all the oils off of her skin using some facial astringent. I just put it on a cotton wipe and just wiped her whole entire face with it. After that, I applied some lip moisturizer onto her lips just so they could get nice and moisturized during this whole process of doing her makeup. So she has really nice brows, but I just groomed them a little bit and just removed some excess hair in the areas using my razor. You could get that for like for $1 at the beauty supply store. I went in with my Fenty Beauty primer and used a flat brush and applied it all over her skin. Before applying the primer, I did use some facial moisturizing cream. So then I went in again and just groomed her brows some more with a eyebrow scissor. So then to fill in her brows, I used my Absolute New York Slim Brow Pencil in the shade Smoke. I sped this process up because I have a lot of videos where, I've done the brows, but I enjoy seeing stuff sped up sometimes, but it just shows the whole process instead of me skipping over it. So I just used a light hand and filled them in and gave them some shape, paying close attention to the arch point of her brow, and just filled them in. And then you want to use the spoolie to brush it out to make it smooth and seamless, especially in the beginning portion of the brow, so it's not a harsh brow, because we do not want that over here. We do not like a harsh brow. So to conceal under them, I use Tan Walnut by Elf Camo Concealer. I'm in love with this. You can get it at any store, Walmart, Target, any drugstore, Walmart, Walgreens. It's great. You can use it for full coverage. And it lasts, and I think it's $6 a tube. But I go and I use a flat, very small brush. This I think that's a BH Cosmetics brush, and I like a smaller one because I feel like I have more control over it opposed to like a wider flat brush, but everyone has their own preference. And then after I carve it out on the bottom, I used a regular somewhat dense eyeshadow brush, and I just pressed it in. After doing that on the bottom portion, I go in and I conceal the top. This just helps give it that fresh look. And then of course, after that, when you're doing your foundation, you want to go over that as well, and it helps clean it up even more. But this just helps give it that nice, like, snatched clean look. I did the same thing on the other brow, and then I used that eyeshadow brush to buff it all out. So for a base for her lid, I went in with my P. Louise base in the shade number 3. And I just used that same flat brush that we used to carve out the brows. And I used it to apply it onto her lid. Then to buff it all out, I went and I used that eyeshadow brush to spread it around, buff it out, and of course to lift off any excess product on the lid. So then I went in with my Warrior 2 palette by Juvia's Place, and I went in with those two colors that I showed you as the transition color. So I used one of my Morphe eyeshadow brushes from the Babes Must Have, I believe, brushes pack that they sell. I love it. It's great. Morphe brushes are fantastic. But I just built up that color. So you always want to use tapping and somewhat swiping motions when you have enough of that pigment on the lid. And then afterwards, I went in with these two colors. So I used the matte pink shade for the inner portion and somewhat outer portion of her eye. And I just built up that color. And then afterwards, I went in with that beautiful pink shimmer color from, this is the Mauve palette from Juvia's Place. It is like a must have. It's great. But anyways, I used that glittery shade and I put on the inner portion of her eye. And then I went in with some pink shimmer. This is from the Glow Up Academy from Kiki Adams. She's a well-known makeup artist on YouTube. This is like from when she first launched, but it's a nice rose gold color, and I put it on the inner portion where I put that pink glitter at. After that, I went in with some dual lash glue and I applied it on her lid so it can be a nice sticky base for the chunky glitter that we are going to put on next. So this is the chunky glitter. I tried my best to make my camera focus, but it wasn't having it. And then I got mad because my glitter fell on the floor. And I don't like to waste product and I hate a mess. But nonetheless, I went in and I used a flat brush from Morphe. And I just picked up the glitter and I applied it onto the inner portion of her lid, all the area that I put the dual lash glue. And yep, it just stuck right on there. And then I went in with a spoolie and I used it to clean up her lashes and to get that excess fallout glitter off of her face. And then also I go in and I apply some more facial lotion in all of the areas that had fallout in the shadow. And then I use a wipe and I take it off. And that's a great method to get fallout off of the face without taking too much of like the primer and the facial lotion off. So, ooh, child. This is me doing the black liner. I wanted to keep that footage in here because, you know, it's to learn. If you guys enjoy watching makeup videos or to learn how to do wing liners. I remember when I was first learning to do makeup, I hated when I saw videos and they didn't show the process of doing the wing liner. But I just made sure to speed it up. So I knew I wanted to do a nice, thick, black liner prior to doing the white liner. So I just really, you want to take your time. You want to have a steady hand. You want to make sure that your client is not talking because it's nothing like messing up doing liner. It happens though. Like it happens. And if you have to start over or correct it, that's just what you're going to have to do. But just really make sure you take your time and just fill it in and just have a steady hand. So then I went in with my NYX white liner. And I just had that steady hand and I just put it on top. So for foundation, I use Black Opal Cream Stick Foundation. I just have it in my palette and I put a darker color on the outer perimeter and a lighter in the inner. I do not know the names of the shades that I use because I'm so used to using my foundation palette now. But Black Opal Cream Foundations is amazing. They're fantastic. They're so creamy. They give you a great coverage and they last a long time depending on how you use it. And you can use it for foundation, for cream contour. It's great. So after applying it, before blending it out, I used my Smashbox setting spray and I went in with my Ulta flat brush and I just started pressing it into her skin. So I sped this process up, but you really want to take your time to blend as well. You never want to do swiping motions. You always want to push that product into the skin so it could just melt like butter and look like their own skin. So it's a lengthy process, but it's worth it because you really want to have a nice blended look. So for concealer, I used the Fenty Beauty 370 and I applied it to her chin, cupid's bow area, bridge of her nose, forehead, and underneath her eyes. She was really feeling herself here. She was happy. I love this step. And then I went and I found a darker shade and I used it to cream contour. So I put it on her cheekbone area. I was going to put it around her forehead, but because of her hair, I just decided to just leave that for powder contour. And then I also put it on the sides of her nose. And then when you put it on the sides of the nose, you want to kind of bring it down to the sides of the nose a little bit, and then a little near the nostril. And then I believe I did spray her face again, and I just went in with a Real Techniques brush and I used it alongside with a damp beauty blender to blend out all of the areas. And once again, you just want to use tapping motions, and I like to use a brush or a damp beauty blender to blend out the concealer and then go back in with whatever I use for foundation to make sure you blend the ends of where the contour is and the concealer. And then I just used that foundation brush to blend out the contour, and then I went onto her nose and just blend it all out. And then I use the beauty blender. So I don't like harsh lines when I do contour, so I always go in and blend it out as much as I can. For loose setting powder, I went in with the Laura Mercier in the translucent banana shade, and I put the first coat underneath her eyes to set it, and then I put a second coat, and then I put it in all the areas we concealed, as well as the sides of her mouth and underneath the contour to help chisel it out. So to set the contour, I went in with Dark Deep by MAC, their skin finish powder, and I just applied it to all the areas that I contoured. I did a little bit on the temples and around her forehead, and then also on the sides of the nose. Then to wipe away the loose setting powder, I went in with the Skin Mineralized Finish powder by MAC, and I went in with dark, and I used it to help wipe away that loose setting powder. For blush, I went and I used my Juvia's Place palette, and I used a pink and orangey shade, mixed them together, and I just put it on her cheekbones. And you can just see that color just pick up so nicely on her skin. So to help her eyes pop some more, I went and I used that pink eyeshadow shade that we put on her lid, and I put it underneath her eyes to help it pop. I added some mascara to her bottom lashes, and then I went in with my white pencil and gave her a white liner to make her eyes open up. For highlight, you could use any type of highlight, to be honest, and it just went on her skin so nicely, and you can see it. My camera's trying to focus, but it came out real nice on her skin. And you just want to put it on the cheekbones, on the forehead, bridge of the nose, tip of the nose, cupid's bow, the chin. It just depends on how much highlight you want. So to line her lips, I used the liquid matte lipstick by Juvia's Place in a brown color. And for this look, I went and I used a nude pinkish liquid matte lipstick by Juvia's Place. And I just applied it on, and then I went back in and I merged the brown and the pink together so it can flow nicely and blend. And then afterwards, I went in with a gloss and added it to her lips to make it pop more. But this is the completed look. My camera died. I was able to charge it up to get some beautiful pictures, but I had to give it time. But this video was recorded on my iPhone with flash, with dark lighting. But I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. If there are some other looks you would like for me to do, just let me know in the comments down below. Make sure that you guys follow my social medias. I have them listed on my channel. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all of that. So yeah, get into it. This video was made with the studio lighting, and then this one with this beautiful close-up was with dark lighting and flash. Get into the details. Yes, yes, yes. So yeah, once again, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. I hope to have you guys visit my channel again soon. Thanks for watching.